Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, aka the guy who's like Goku when it comes to breaking down Grogu, and though I have no idea what that means, I do have some ideas about the ins and outs of his past after the latest episode. Chapter 13 unveiled a lot about the child, and throughout this video we're going to be going over it all and then giving our fan theories on where things could be going in the future. There will be heavy spoilers here, so if you haven't seen the latest episode yet, or played Jedi Fallen Order, then heads up, as we will be discussing certain things. If you've been enjoying our coverage so far, then please click the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe for videos like this every day. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this, now let's get into the breakdown. Okay, so no matter what, yeah, I think I will forever call the child Baby Yoda, 1, because I'm a noob, and 2, because I have 10 tattoos of him on my face. But above all that, I think it's because the cute little critter is one of the most memorable characters in the entirety of Star Wars history, and over the last year there's been a ton of speculation about who he is and where he comes from. Theories have ranged from him being a clone of Yoda to a descendant of Palpatine, and that was pretty stupid, that one. And though we don't know exactly where he came from, we do at least have some inkling about his early life. Now, it's long been known that Grogu is about 50 years old, and in the Star Wars timeline, this would place him as someone who was around just before the Clone Wars. Ahsoka confirms this in the latest episode when connecting with his mind, and she says that he was a youngling who was trained at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. This is something that we've actually seen firsthand, and like most of the children at the location, many masters oversaw his development and education. Now, Order 66 really threw a spanner in the works, and many of the Jedi were murdered, but the few who survived did what they could to escape and help those that they could. We've seen this across a lot of media such as the Clone Wars and Jedi Fallen Order, both of which showcase the downfall of the Republic through the eyes of the characters that experienced it firsthand. What I love about Fallen Order is that we really saw through the eyes of Cal Kestis how his master protected him when everything was going to hell, and it seems like something very similar happened to Grogu as he was taken from the temple when Anakin was massacring younglings. What a guy. Anyway, we currently don't know who the identity of this mysterious figure was, and we don't even know if it's a Jedi or not. Ahsoka doesn't mention one, but I think they've deliberately left things ambiguous in order to make us speculate. Now, the first person who sprung to mind when I heard this story was actually Mace Windu. Fan theories aside, even when I first saw Revenge of the Sith back in the day, when I was a youngling myself, younger than the child, which I still suppose I am, something about him being flung out of the window just didn't sit right with me. A Jedi could easily get out of that fall, and if Palpatine can survive being thrown into the Death Star reactor as it explodes, then anything is possible. Yes, I know he's a clone. Now, there are also other characters it could be, and even on our last video we brought up how there'd been speculation for a long time that Yaddle could have been the one to save him. I know she's dead, but yeah, this is Star Wars and it really could be anybody, but we know for definite that at the very least it wasn't Obi-Wan or Yoda. Maybe it was a Jar Jar. That was fucking terrible. Anyway, so what happened after that? Well, the child's memory goes dark and Ahsoka states that he became lost and alone. When the child was first introduced, a lot of people were kind of confused over the age, as if he was really 50 years old, he would be roughly a toddler, but he seemed a bit younger. It's likely because he's pretty much been left on his own without much interaction, or even training, that he's pretty much remained in this childlike state mentally, and this is something that we've seen in real life when children are not provided with proper social interactions. So him having this almost regressed and underdeveloped personality does make a lot more sense with us knowing that he was left on his own for what could have been roughly 30 to 40 years. He was still likely sought after though, and last week we discovered that the Empire had actually been creating clones and were trying to harvest the midichlorians from Grogu in order to give them the ability to wield the Force. We don't know whether these clones were Palpatine himself or Snoke, but what we do know is that the hosts weren't compatible with Grogu and they failed to really do anything. At least this sort of explains why Snoke's face is so messed up, because he's a failure. Now, we do know that Moff Gideon is still hunting Grogu and Mando, but I actually think that there will be something that ties into the overall plot and means that he leaves them alone. Episode 5, or rather Chapter 13, ends with Ahsoka telling Mando to take the child to Tython, and upon placing him atop a seeing stone, that he will be able to reach out to another Jedi. Now if the Jedi can sense him, the Sith likely can too, and thus if a Jedi travels to meet Grogu or tells him where to meet, the Empire could be well aware of this. I actually think that Moff will take this Jedi, whoever they may be, and with them potentially being a closer match to the host, they will be able to allow Palpatine to live once more. So if Mace is still out there, who knows, maybe he's harvested and helps to create the Sith Lord again. Ahsoka could be used as well, and well, someone at the very least has to, as Palps of course comes back, even if he doesn't look as good, or rather as bad as usual. Well, Pershing did say there would be issues, mate, so no, you can't have your money back. Now, a lot of people are speculating that the Jedi who Grogu reaches out to will be Luke. As we know, roughly about this time, he was in the midst of creating his own academy. Luke of course trained Kylo Ren, but I think the events of the show are a bit too early for him to have things in place for it. They would also need to get Mark Hamill back for the series, de-age him, and it does seem like a lot of extra work for something when they could easily just put another Jedi in his place without going through all that effort. So personally, I don't think that it will be Luke, and this is purely because I've had time to digest the episode, and I think it's just a bit too much to bring him in. Now, it could indeed be Ezra, and fans of Rebels will know that Ahsoka is actually looking for him. In the same way that Mando wasn't aware Bo-Katan was after Moff Gideon, he's also not aware that Ahsoka's after Ezra, so, you know, he could sort of be the middleman that brings them all together. We really don't know at this point, but I just can't see it being Luke. And instead, I do think that we will get an established Jedi, but it may not be one of the big A-listers that we're used to seeing. Unless it is, of course, Mace Windu, but I digress. I would actually love to see Cal back, and I think that would be an amazing way to link the game universe with this continuity. Though they would have to age him up a bit, as the game was sort of around the same time as the formation of the Galactic Empire, the series so far has had several characters from the Clone Wars era, and they didn't look that much older, so meh. They can get away with it, I think, and I'd be a very happy chappy. I just don't know who on earth they could possibly get to play him though. I'm scratching my head. Maybe Ron Weasley? Anyway, there's a lot of info we've learned, and a lot that we still don't, so yeah, back to square one on that one. But I'd of course love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below, so make sure you drop them, and if you enjoyed the video, yeah, just hit that thumbs up button, right, because I'll bloody knock you out if you don't. Sorry about that, I shouldn't have said that. Now, if you want something else to watch, then definitely check out our breakdown of the latest episode of the show, which will be linked at the end. We go over all the Easter eggs we could find, and give our theories on where things could be going in the future. Don't forget we're giving away 3 copies of the Marvel Phase 2 box set, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below. The winner's going to be chosen at random on the 30th of November, so make sure you get involved. If you want to support the channel and get to see content early, then please consider clicking the join button below. You can also come chat to us on a Discord server, linked in the description, or heavy spoilers on Twitter. Thanks for making it until the end of the video. You've been the best. I've been Paul. I'll see you next time. I take care. A peace.